Hey, it's Rachel from All About Planners. In this video I'm doing a review of the Posy planner. So this one is quite similar, I think, to the plum paper and also the SHP planner. So if you like those but maybe they weren't quite what you were looking for, then maybe the Posy planner will be the right fit for you. So this one was about 33 Canadian. If I added on shipping, I bought it during Black Friday, it was about 43 Canadian to get it to Australia, which is not too bad for a planner. It is 12-month dated academic year, but you can also get calendar year if you want. So I do quite like this planner overall, but there is one major con which I need to just point out from the beginning because you're going to see it the whole way through. So I don't know what's up with this one because I also purchased a doc grid notebook from them and it was fine, but the coil binding on this, there's something wrong about it. It's like they didn't bend the coil in the right location. As you can see, it doesn't, like it should go through the pages. Instead, it's like stuck there, and I have tried and tried to move it. It just does not budge. And then up the top here, same deal. This should be like tucked under more, and the pages tend to come off, especially when you're at the back of the notebook and you want to fold the pages back on themselves. So the coil, I would say, is defective on this one. It's totally fine on the doc grid, just this one is a bit off. So I don't know if that's normal, if I just got a lemon. Anyway, just need to point that out because you're going to see it the whole way through. So apart from that, I do quite like this planner. It's got a functional spread. Really love this like marble effect cover, something very different. It has a cardstock cover with this clear one, which is a similar style to what plum paper do, and I really do prefer that over laminate covers because I think it's much more sturdy to have the cardstock than to have the laminate, because the laminate gets scuffed on all the corners. Okay, so at the front here, I just got the This Belongs To page. I purchased the horizontal, which starts in July. They have their own website and they also have an Etsy shop as well, FYI. So at the front here we have the dates at a glance for the current year and next year, and then the planner just goes straight into it. There is no other extras in this planner except for some contacts pages at the back and a couple of line notes pages. Otherwise it's just full planner. You can get tabs if you want to, but they were a paid extra, and I was already getting a bit XY because I have to convert to Australian, so I opted to leave them out. Could always add some sticky notes if you wanted to. So the colours throughout this planner really reminded me of the plum paper. There's like a greeny mint colour, a light purple, a navy blue, and this kind of orangey colour. And they're set up the same way with like a couple of months in that colour and then it'll go to the next colour, which is just like what plum paper does. So it is a Canadian planner, but it has the Canadian holidays and also has the US holidays printed as well, like Independence Day. The monthly calendar starts on a Sunday, and unfortunately it's not consistent with the weekly planner, which starts on a Monday. So while I'm on the weekly spread, I may as well show you that. So we have lots of lined writing space. Now the reason I got this one, because I have seen plenty of horizontal planners, this one's slightly different. It's about 2/3 lined and then 1/3 unlined. So instead of splitting the box half equally like some planners, or most horizontal planners do, or just a giant blank box for each day, it does have the lined and unlined. So you could do like your main priorities here, or your schedule like 9, 10, 11, 12, etc. AM, in your time slots, and then have your to-do list here. Or you could just do your work stuff and then have your personal stuff. So I quite like that, something a bit different. The holidays are printed again on the weekly spread, which isn't a big deal for the weekdays because they have a big box. But over here on the right page, it is a bit of a problem on the weekend. So if I just show you maybe another one that has more holidays printed, it ends up taking up quite a bit, quite a bit of space. Like there's not much room left to write on Sunday because they did that. It would have been a bit more functional, I reckon, to just put it up the top here in line with the text, and then you've still got the full box to write on. But anyway, minor con. And then down the bottom you have a note section, dates at a glance, and then there's a little quote as well, and they change throughout. Just flick so you can see a few. Yeah, so those. Okay, so the other things that I wanted to point out, see this coil binding? This is what I was talking about earlier, because I can't get it to go all the way through. It's just kind of sticking up awkwardly, which is kind of driving me nuts actually. Okay, so the other things I want to point out are the colours. So if I just do a quick flick, we have the navy, the pretty blue, love the blue, and there's the orange again. I want to show you the pastel purple, wherever that's gone. That's the minty green. Let's find the purple. Purple, purple, purple. There we go. And that's the purple. So each month has a lined notes page. Wow, okay, this binding, look how bad it's gotten. Okay, so it has a line notes page at like the end of the month, and then you've got this line one to start that month. So this could be your review for March, and then you've got your planning for April. Then it goes into the 2-page monthly calendar, and then you've got all of the weeks. Now, for the weeks where there is a split month like this one, it'll end, like that's March, and then the next week will just start straight away. So it's not like plum paper where it will like duplicate the spread. So they're pretty much the only one. I think there's only 1 or 2 planner companies I've come across that do that. So this one doesn't. It will just continue the week all together in the same spread. And the other thing I just want to point out is the split boxes on the monthly calendar. If you follow me, you know this is like one of my pet peeves. I cannot stand it, and even more so for this month especially, because look at that, they've put the holiday there but they've printed it in the middle, so you have about 1 centimeter height to write in, which just is ridiculous. So not a fan of this at all. Doesn't make sense. Would have been better if they just went 29 and then go 30, 31, and then you get a full box for each day of the month. It doesn't look messy, and you can actually like fit some text in the box. So that's definitely a con. I think the style of this planner I really like, but some of just the functionality with those holidays printed and the coil could be better. So at the back here, I just want to show you the extra pages, and then I'll show you the pen test, because I did the pen test in the dot grid notebook, and it's the same paper for both of them, so I didn't bother like redoing the pen test. So we have the contacts pages. I'm not really sure why they bother to include these, because I don't know about you, but I just keep that on my phone. I don't really need a page in my planner to record that, and I don't want to have to rewrite that out every year every time I get a new planner. So I feel like that's a bit outdated to be including in planners these days. Then we have the line pages. The line spacing is about 6 to 7 mil. I will just triple check that and include that in the blog post that will accompany this video, which is, this is pretty typical line spacing, and I quite like this size. I don't think it's too small, and I don't think it's too big. So that's definitely a pro. Then we have this little cardstock folder at the back here, and when I say little, it is quite little. I'm not sure how much you'll fit in there. Maybe a couple of envelopes of mail. As you go out the door, you could put them in there, and then take them out when you get home. And then the cover is the same pattern as the front, with this like watercolor effect. So let me show you the pen test, and I'll show you a version of their notebook that has a proper coil. So this one is the dot grid notebook, and as you can see, the coil is fine. It's not cut wrong or anything, so I think that planner is just a dud. Alright, so let's have a look at the pen test. I did all the usual ballpoint, gel, fine tip. You've seen all these before if you follow me, so don't bother lingering on that. Let's just have a look at the pen test. So there was a fair bit of show through, unfortunately, because the paper is really nice and smooth to write on. I really enjoyed writing on it, but it does have a lot of show through for, well, pretty much everything. So if you're going to use this planner, I would go with ballpoint pens, because that one there, the Papermate ballpoint, ended up looking pretty good. And also, what was this one? The Crayola gel worked alright too, but otherwise, yeah, you're going to have some ghosting on your pages. And I will just show you the cover that I chose for the dot grid, so you can have a look at another option. Maybe you'll prefer it instead of the watercolor. I'll just show you both so you can decide. There you go, and you can personalize it as well. So I had my name printed on both of them, and there was no extra charge for that, which I thought was a good deal. The page size, I probably forgot to mention. I don't have my ruler with me, but I think from memory it was about 6 by 9, but I will include that with the blog post and double check it. It is a little bit more narrow than most medium-sized planners. They probably tend to come to about here. So this one is a little bit more narrow than your like Erin Condren plum paper and all of those. So I hope you found this review helpful. Don't forget to subscribe. I usually post a couple of review videos each week, and I will include the link for this dot grid notebook down below as well if you wanted to have a look at that one.